Good morning, everyone. Excited to be here today. I'm going to share my screen and get us started. We here at the IU are very happy to present an initiative here to kick off the holiday season. On my screen, you will see that I am Mike Heater. I am the coordinator of curriculum and instruction here at CLIU 21. We have a 12 days of learning PD lineup set up for you for that should take us through mid-December. We have an array of topics that you can see on this flyer that's been sent out to the various schools. They are being recorded and they will all be uploaded to our YouTube channel, which you can find there on the link. And I have it in the presentation as well. So today in our 12 days of Christmas, we are actually going to talk about self-care, which is a very important topic at this time of year. I have a couple short videos embedded into our into the slides today that I'd like to show. Hopefully they bring a little bit of cheer and smile to your face. And I have to give a little bit of credit to my colleague, Kristen Adams, for putting this together. She is a staff development facilitator in our office, and she also helped to create the theme for our slides, as you'll see throughout the series. So first, I want to talk about the stressors that, and I also want to preface by saying we have 30 minutes, so I'm really going to try to quickly introduce some ideas that will help, hopefully, every individual to create a plan that will benefit them in several ways. The first, I want to really highlight this slide. I had lifted it, borrowed it from a social media post that I had glanced across a few months back. And it really starts to capture, I think, the present state of a lot of educators, a lot of personnel working in the education field right now, as well as many other fields for that matter, in that, there's really so many different things right now to be thinking about in our professional lives. And it's a little bit of a play on words, and it, it brings a little bit of a comical approach to it, in that I do think it's important that once in a while we have to stop and reflect and hopefully try to keep things in perspective the best that we can. But really, already with how many things we know are on the plates of our educators in today's society, there are clearly a lot of different topics going on, including making sure that our classrooms are safe places. And then, of course, making sure that we're offering a really impactful educational product to our students in several different environments. And of course, number 5, making sure not to panic, right? When things change and things pivot. And maybe one of the biggest obstacles that we faced going back to the spring is really the constant changing landscape of what we've known as education. So really just a moment to recognize that and make sure that we do in fact spend some time making sure that we understand that this is a difficult moment and trying to focus in on things that we can do to hopefully benefit at this time and take care of ourselves. Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
I'm just going through some upfront slides. If you want to stick with me, we'll help you to develop a self-care plan. Looks like you're solo today, but it is being recorded. So moving on from the COVID stress and our current educational climate, some of the stressors that can be presented, we do also, of course, have holiday stress. And I chuckle a little bit because I'm clearly under the gun at the moment as I'm trying to clean up my list, as we say. And for me, that is one of the more difficult stressors, as I try to knock off different family members and friends and get the Christmas cards out the door and get decorated for the holidays and prepare events, whatever it may be. So holiday stress on top of our current educational climate, really, it can be a difficult time of year. So we really wanted to kick off this 12 days of learning with this initiative to make sure that we are taking some time out for ourselves. I do have a short video for those of you who are familiar with Ellen. Hopefully you get some enjoyment out of this. It's about 2 minutes. Brought a little chuckle to my face, and hopefully the volume does come through okay.
Well, you're all in a very jolly mood, aren't you? Why, I wonder? This is the time of year where everybody goes around saying 'tis the season to be jolly, but a lot of people get stressed out this time of year because the holidays can be stressful. There's a lot to do, and it doesn't help that it's darker outside, it's colder. The other day it was like 68 and drizzling here in LA, so I get it. It's a bummer. But you're here to let all that stress go. You're here to relax and have fun. I don't want you to think about let it all go. Nothing stressful in here at all. Who's going home for the holidays? Well, guess what? Your mom is not going to like your haircut. The first thing she's going to say, but don't think about that. Don't think about anything stressful. Don't think about that you have to go shopping and you're not going to find a parking spot when you get to the mall. Or you're going to think you found one, but then some punk ass kid in a moped speeds around the corner and takes it before you can put your blinker on. Don't think about that. You know what else you shouldn't think about is you shouldn't think about wrapping your gifts. Because you're going to take out wrapping paper and you're going to start to wrap a huge box, but the paper isn't going to fit all the way around it. Almost, but not quite. So you're going to have to cut an extra rectangle of a different roll and tape it to the bottom of the box, and it's going to be ugly. Don't think about it. Let it go. While you're trying to tape that piece on there, the phone's going to start ringing and you're trying to figure out, should I finish this or reach for the phone? You reach for the phone and the scissors fall on your foot. You're bleeding a lot. You're going to have to decide if you need stitches or if you can reattach the toe by yourself. And you have Scotch tape, but good luck getting that roll started before you lose feeling in your leg and eventually your entire body. And of course, you end up cursing in front of your 2-year-old. Then your 2-year-old is going to end up cursing in front of your neighbors when they come over for cocktails, and there goes that friendship. And there goes your chance at a promotion because you just found out your neighbor's best friends with your boss. Seriously, don't think about any of that at all. Here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about being stress-free and dancing right now.
So full disclosure, I do not have to worry about wrapping presents in my home. I'm very, very, very bad at it. So my wife does a great job of doing that. But I thought it was a cute video. The holiday season can be stressful enough. And as we talked about, we also face other challenges. So really this 30 minutes is about how do we take care of ourselves. And I think one of the first pieces when we talk about self-care and plan development is understanding some really important characteristics of self-care. I think oftentimes we can get lost in the fact that if we do something for ourselves, that it is selfish, that we should be doing something for others. I think as educators, it is our inherent sort of feel to make sure that we're always doing something for somebody else. So here are just a couple key ideas that here at the IU, when we talk about self-care and we blend these trainings into our trauma-informed practices, this is in fact some very, very important descriptors when we talk about self-care. First of all, it's responsible, right? It's really important that we take care of ourselves. The reality of the reality of the situation is that if we don't take care of ourselves, it's going to be really difficult to take care of anybody else. And it's important to keep that in mind. Second, it really helps us to create healthy habits. We get into a cycle of making sure that we take care of ourselves and we incorporate it into our daily, weekly, monthly activities and schedules that we create. It's recharging, right? It gives us a minute to take a step back, do something we enjoy, and sort of recharge our batteries and get ready for life's obstacles, if you will. It needs to be scheduled. This is a really critical piece that is of the utmost importance because it ensures that it's part of our routine. It's there. It's something that we're going to do. It's deliberate, and then moving forward, it's necessary. Once again, we know that Some of the things that we face on a daily basis really, really can become taxing, even if we don't realize it. They can be secondary. They can have secondary impacts on us that we don't even know are happening. So it's really important to make sure that we develop a plan that allows us to be self-caring and taking care of ourselves. And it's individualized. Uh, Something that works for me may not work for somebody else. And my job in the last 15 minutes here of this quick session is really to make sure that you have the tools to create your own individualized plan that hopefully you can begin implementing as soon as possible to make sure that you make it through the holiday season without some of the stressors, hopefully, that Ellen talked about, and maybe some others that you might be thinking about as well. So I have linked here a full self-care planning guide, which we are not going to have time to get to today. I do have an alternative, but I'm going to just show you this very briefly so you can kind of see what it's all about. And I do encourage everyone to hopefully take a look at this when they do have time. I will tell you that this probably is going to take you a little bit of time to complete, but it is absolutely worthwhile. And what this tool does is it allows you to take a look at 6 different aspects of your life, including physical, personal, psychological, spiritual, emotional, and professional areas. Then what it does is it asks you to reflect on some different characteristics of yourself and rate yourself, and then fits them into 3 categories, which are compassion, satisfaction, burnout, and secondary traumatic stress. And then what this allows you to do is to begin to formulate what areas you either need to or may want to look at creating a difference in. So once again, this is a little bit of a long form piece, but I do want to show it to you because it is a great tool. It's very comprehensive. Once you've established where you want to make changes, you can then work through these specific areas, check off some healthy habits, input some additional ideas, and I have some tools to show you some additional ideas, address the barriers that you may face of why you can't address this specific area, and then create action steps so that you can write down, type in whatever works for you, how you're going to address those barriers. And once we work through each of the 6 areas that we've analyzed, we can then begin to make a plan. And I'm going to get to this piece that says emergency plan in a second, and then create a calendar. So it's really an entire one-stop shop of creating an entire self-care plan. And I think it holds true in this case, especially, that sometimes when we write things down and we put them down on something that's going to be a schedule, it does keep us accountable. So once again, I would recommend that everybody does do this, takes the time, maybe in the new year, a great resolution, right? Something to kick off with, or you can start right now, which would be even better. And I'm going to give you a tool that I think you can do in a little bit of a shorter time and get yourself started literally on December 1st, 2nd here as we move through this week, and hopefully start to live a little bit of a better life, taking care of yourself and avoiding some of the burnout factors that we talked about. So what I'd like to do right now is to take a second, and we're actually going to practice. I do have a great volunteer here with me today. Maybe she'll partake. If not, that's okay too. We're going to jump out to just one really quick activity that I'm going to participate in. And what it is a really quick mini meditation. It lasts about 4 minutes. It should take us to about 8:20. And this is brought to you by Headspace via YouTube. And Headspace is a great app that you can get for free. They offer really quick meditations. And this one is called Sunday Scaries. And I picked this one on purpose because I personally, over the years, have found myself on the last day of a vacation or weekend experiencing some anxieties going into the new week. And over the years, I've sort of learned to curtail it, if you will. But I still find my mind sort of racing ahead through what the week's going to look like and the different things I have up ahead. So I join you in the next 4 minutes to take a moment and relax, and hopefully you can participate in this and see what it's all about. I think sometimes meditation in general has a lot of misconceptions. I personally really enjoy meditation, and even yoga is another great example of something that can uh, be easily implemented into a self-care plan.
So, however our week begins, some weeks are just more difficult to go into than others. Whether it's something particularly difficult that's happened in our local community or even on the world stage, it's just difficult to go into the week as though nothing has happened and not to feel touched in some way by what has happened. So it's really important that on these weekends we take the time to realize how we feel, to experience that vulnerability, and to make sure that we're not just pushing that to one side, ignoring it, suppressing it, or putting it away somewhere. So take the time right now to pause, to take a deep breath. Breathe in through the nose. And as you breathe out through the mouth, just allow the eyes to close. Allow the body to be still. Allow the mind to be still if it wants to. And just allow whatever feelings arise to come to the surface. It's so rare that we pause and allow these feelings any space. It's so important that we do. If it helps as you sit there, you can just gently place your hand on your stomach and just feel that rising and falling sensation. Know that as you follow that sensation, there's no real goal to the exercise. We're just pausing, allowing the body to be present with any sensations, any feelings, allowing the mind to experience any thoughts, any feelings, and just creating a space in which we can be quiet and still. And if you need to direct your thoughts to anyone, to anything in particular, just taking that opportunity now. And then just gently bringing the attention back to the body, back to that feeling, contact, that feeling of being grounded. Grateful for having taken that time out. And whenever you feel ready, in your own time, just gently opening the eyes again.
So hopefully you were able to participate. And if you weren't, I deeply encourage you. Meditation takes practice, but I'll tell you what, once you do it for a little while, you really begin to reap the benefits and understand the role of thoughts and how you can actually see them and allow them to pass through and realize that they are just that, they are thoughts. And I think the second thing that it allows you to do is to focus on different parts of your body deeply. I personally find it very beneficial to concentrate on my breath at times. Sometimes it really helps at nighttime when, we all have different things going through our mind, just to concentrate on my breath. It helps to relax and get my headspace open, if you will, clear out my mind so that I can get into a state that I need to be in order to sleep. Um, so just a quick meditation there, if you will. This last piece, the last slide in this presentation, has several really nice resources that you can use, and I'm going to explain how they would work together. And notice I gave the clock here of 5 o'clock somewhere. Hopefully, some of you get some enjoyment out of that. But 30 minutes to make a change is really the challenge. So my hope is that when I get done with this presentation, that you can take 30 minutes and create yourself what I call a right now plan. The word emergency I don't love. So I manipulated that a little bit to right now plan. And I'll show you what that looks like here. And what this does is it allows you very quickly, without a full inventory, to take a look at these different components of things that you can do. So the first one is when I need to reframe my mood, something really quick that you can enjoy. 3 things that you can do throughout your day. So first off at the top, I might say that I would close my eyes and take a couple deep breaths, sort of clean out to reframe my mood. Throughout my day, maybe I can take a walk, and I'm speaking for myself. Remember, this is individualized, which is really important. I can take a walk. For me, playing a video game or a quick game on my phone helps me to, what I'd like to tell my wife is enjoy some mindless entertainment, something that really makes me not think about anything, but yet helps me to clear out. And then number 3, sometimes when I have a quick snack, a light snack, it helps me to sort of, I guess, not focus on the moment at hand, but also sort of just take a break. It forces me to take a break and not really be engaged in electronics or other things that might take up some more of my bandwidth or my headspace. And then it helps me to, who are people, or how can I make contacts when I'm feeling a certain way? So if I'm feeling sad, maybe I want to talk to a friend or a trusted coworker or someone like that. When I need someone to listen, maybe I have that person who I just really like to dump to, right? Someone who is able to just sit and listen and allow me to just give them information without being judgmental. Sometimes that's extremely powerful, and you can literally feel yourself getting lighter as you partake in that practice. Encouragement, maybe you have an advisor, a mentor, or a friend that they just have that ability to sort of give that rah-rah speech, or give you some tough love, or give you a word of advice that makes you feel a certain way. Maybe if you're feeling anxious, who's somebody that might share some of those same feelings, or someone who I know has gone through something similar that can help me get out of that moment in time. And when I need to relax, what can I do? For me, it's sitting on the couch with the dog and watching a football game, right? Or watching a sporting event that I can sort of just drift off and get lost in what's happening in front of me. It can't be the Giants, by the way, because that creates more stress for me. So it's got to be something that's mindless, something that's easy, something I can think about. Oftentimes, I like to take myself to a really relaxing place on a vacation that I enjoyed. That's why I use the gentleman sitting on the beach in a lot of my presentations, because that is my place, where, there's not a lot going on around me. I'm sort of just taking some time to reflect and relax and clear out my head. What are some things that I can avoid? For me, it takes a conscious effort to shut off the electronic world and emails and due dates and things like that. So when I'm taking time for myself, it's really critical that I understand that I need to avoid certain things that are going to cause me to sort of cross the compartments in my life when they're not supposed to. And where can I go? For some people, it's nature. For me, I just love to, when I go for a run or go for a walk, that is my go. That is my place, because I'm sort of out, I'm moving, I'm watching things happen around me. It's nice. It's something that allows me to sort of let go. So for you, that might be a different place. But these are all quick things. This is a plan that you can utilize starting right now when we get done with this presentation. I'm going to give you some more tools for ideas because some people might say, well, Mike, this is great, but I can't think of 3 things that I can do throughout my day that are going to help me. Well, that's what we're going to try to provide you in with some of the tools that I have linked. So what we have here in the next 3 links are self-care ideas. So the first one is actually, I believe it's 100 or maybe more self-care ideas that you can 101, no 100. That's what it is. So there are 100 different ideas here, really quick phrases, one-liners, if you will, that you can quickly implement into not only a self-care plan, but a right now plan. Really quick things like having a dance party. Sometimes those break out in my house with my 7 and 3-year-old. And before you know it, everyone's laughing and giggling. And it was, a mindless activity that allowed us to sort of release. Sing your heart out. Number 31, I love. Sometimes when I'm driving into work in the morning, you put on some music. I was a 90s kid and you just let it out, right? And it feels good. It changes your mindset going into work. So calling someone you love is a great one that I enjoy as I start to get older. Calling a friend or a relative I haven't connected with in a while can sometimes really change your mindset. So there are quite a few, like I said, 100 different ideas. Take some time to quickly scan the list and implement those. Feel free to put them into your plan. We also have on here is a self-care wheel, which takes us out to the areas that I had talked about earlier in the full self-care plan. And it specifically links to those key practices that were listed. So if you know there's a specific area that you want to work on, this might be a little bit more of a valuable tool because it allows you to grab ideas right from those areas that might fit nicely into your plan that you're going to start to create right after this. Wink, wink. And last but not least, we have a link to mindfulness resources, which will take you to a whole bunch of different links that will show you things like the practice that we did a little bit earlier and many, many more. So my challenge to you, and I am at 8:29, great timing. I was hoping to start to fill mine in with you and we do that together, but I only have one brave participant today. I'm glad she joined us, but this will be posted to YouTube for everyone else. I hope you enjoy. And most importantly, I hope that you're able to take 30 minutes and make an investment in yourself, enjoy the holiday season, and have a great 2021. As we all know, it's going to be a better year. So with that, I'm signing off. It was great to join everybody and have a great holiday season. Thank you.